Hello and welcome to the very, very first episode of my podcast. I've been wanting to do this forever. I've been wanting to do this for like a year and a half now, but I never got around to doing it. I tend to be a perfectionist, always want things to be great, always want to have all the right information. I'm always scared to just put out tutorials and just put out podcasts if it's not looking great. I always have bad mindsets when it comes towards that. But today, I was just screw it. A lot of people could use this information. A lot of people might find this valuable, and I just wanted to help some people out while I got some free time. So no one's in the house, got a bit of time to do a podcast, so I thought I'd do that. So it's my first episode. I've been also wanting to do interviewing other 3D artists in the industry, picking their brains on how they find clients and what it's like being in their position. Some people are working in studios, some people are freelancing like I am, and what it's like there. So if you guys want me to do a podcast interviewing other people, let me know in the comments below. That'll definitely incentivize me to attempt doing that a little bit. I think that'll be pretty cool. At my stage, I know a few people that work in this industry, and I think it would be cool to give some insights for you guys on what it's actually like to be a working 3D artist. So a little bit about me. Surprisingly enough, a lot of people don't know much about me. I'm not going to give my whole backstory, but a little bit about where I am now. I am a freelancing 3D artist. So I've been doing this maybe around 3 years or so. Officially probably getting work maybe 1.5 to 2 years. But maybe started dabbling around in 3D 3 years ago. And now at the position I'm in now, I'm traveling around doing 3D work online. So going to Bali in about a month, moving there for about 3 months. And previously I've been in Namibia and Zambia and South Africa and various places of Africa, just moving around, exploring places. But I can work from wherever I want, work on whatever projects I want. It doesn't matter where I am, I can still do the work that I want to do, and that's the position I'm in now. So I thought I would give some insights and some advice on how to find clients and how to get to a position not how to get a position where I am, because I'm very lucky and very fortunate. A lot of good things have happened in my life to lead to where I am now, but I thought I'd give a bit of advice on how I find clients and stuff like that. So we're going to be going over organic methods. I don't know enough about paid methods. I still don't think I know enough about organic methods to give advice, but who knows when I'll ever feel like I do know enough to do this. So I thought I would just give the advice that I think I have to people that might benefit from it. So the downside to organic methods is it's hard to track. So let's say if you make a YouTube post, it's hard to track let's say you get 100 views on your YouTube post. It's hard to track how many of those 100 views are potential clients and how many of those potential clients click on your website, how many of those potential clients that click on your website actually try to contact you. Stuff like that's very hard to track. Those are the downsides. Upsides is it's very easy to do. So the advice I'm going to give is going to seem very straightforward and basic, but doesn't mean you're going to do it. You can actually Google how to find clients in the creative industry. You'll find answers, but yet still hundreds of people still ask me, how do you find clients? So just because the information's out there, just because you have Google, doesn't mean that you're going to do the actual stuff. So a huge thing is mindset. One of the things I think I have a benefit over a lot of people is my mindset towards things. I have a drive to build an empire, a drive to be successful. And that comes to your environment, not necessarily your genes, but mostly how you grew up. So I didn't grow up in the most fortunate position. Kind of grew up just with my dad. Dad always never really had much money. Kind of always broke, let's say that. Childhood is a very, very big struggle. It was actually a nightmare all the way until I was out of high school. And even out of high school, I'm a high school dropout, never finished high school. Everyone's going to university and I'm stuck at home. I know how to do graphic design and video editing, which kind of seems like a loser situation. Just playing games all day. Yeah, really bad situation. So I had a huge drive to be successful at anything I was doing. Very fortunate that it was something that I enjoyed, which was 3D, and very fortunate that I grew up on technology, so I grew up on using computers, so I knew enough about how to use computers, and I also grew up on the internet, so I knew how to Google things. So if it's something I needed to learn when it comes to 3D, I could just Google it. I knew how to find things, I knew how to find information, didn't need to ask anyone how to do things. So I was very fortunate in those regards, and therefore, if you do enough Googling, if you spend enough time, if you have the drive to learn, you'll learn things very quickly. So that's how I ended up in the position I am now. So how I started is I kind of just Googled like how to find work in 3D industry. You end up running into people. So a big one is Gary Vaynerchuk. He gives a lot of advice on like how to find work through organic methods and how to organically grow on different platforms on the internet. And he might take things to the extreme a little bit, but even if you adopt 10% of his advice, I'm sure you'll find a lot of beneficial information. So I bought like 4 of his books on like finding like on how to like grow online, and that's what I did. I bought those books. I started posting on YouTube, grew my YouTube channel, started posting on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, literally any social network you can find. ArtStation, Behance, I was on there. And that's what you need to do. You need to just be in as many places as possible so that as many opportunities can find you. So put yourself in as many places as possible that people can find you. It doesn't necessarily mean be online. Go to events where there's 3D artists there. Go to events where there's people that might be looking for your type of work. Be in places, be in social groups where people are looking for your type of work, and just make yourself known. So that applies to what I was just speaking about. It also applies to online. Be on YouTube, be on Instagram, be on Behance, and actually like display what you do. Like there's so many people like, I'm a 3D artist trying to find work, and then you go on their Instagram page and there's barely any work there. Like it's even if there's like 3D stuff there, it's unclear what they do. It's unclear if they do product animation. It's unclear what their capabilities are. It's unclear if they can do motion graphics, whatever it is. It's very, very unclear, and that's like a huge thing I see people struggle with. So you need to be in places where clients can find you, whether it's on Facebook, whatever it is. And then you also need to be very clear on what it is you do and what it is you can provide. So it doesn't mean you have to be the best 3D artist in the world. Doesn't mean you're going to make money if no one knows you exist. It doesn't mean you're going to make money if no one knows what you do. So those are two very, very big things. So that's what I did well. My YouTube channel was a very big help for me. Like a lot of people now know what I do. They know I specialize in products. My struggles right now is they don't know that I can do motion graphics. They don't know that I can do characters very well. They don't know that I can do things like cars and visual effects and stuff like that. So because they don't know that, I don't get any job opportunities there. So I'm even struggling when it comes to that. I'm in a position where I just don't even have time to like put out personal work that can do that. But I could even say that's an excuse. But yeah, so I'm also struggling with actually putting out stuff that so that people can see, hey, you can actually do this. So those are like just very, very 2 big things. So when it comes to, so that's like actually being found. You need to be on every single platform, and you need to be clear about what you should do. So if you want to do product animation, don't start posting photos. Don't make a Behance and just post photos about cats, or just post photos about daily renders. Post photos about like product renders if you want to do them, and like really get good at 3D product rendering, but don't spend all your time doing that. You also need to spend time on the business side, because like I said, it doesn't matter if you're the best 3D artist if no one knows if you exist, if no one can contact you, if no one knows where to find your work, and no one knows how to refer you to someone. You need to have like a website where people can find you, some place where people can contact you and message you. It doesn't have to be a fully fledged website. Even if it's like something like Behance, ArtStation, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, post your work on Facebook groups. Like it depends on what kind of software you use. If you use 3ds Max, post your work on 3ds Max Facebook group. Use Octane, post your work on 3D Octane render group, and then post it on like things like Facebook and everything. And then make sure people can contact you. Like have a universal space, which is why a website is so good, where everyone can go back to, and this is the place where they can contact them. So those are very, very big pieces of advice, which may seem very simple to a lot of people, but that's the biggest thing that I see people struggle with. They don't even post their work. and you don't even really know what they do. Even if like a lot of people do post like 3D renders and stuff, it's like, what do you do? Like, you may be posting 3D renders of light bulbs. Like I've done like a lot of light bulb tutorial. Like I did a light bulb tutorial. Like a lot of people is posting light bulb stuff now. But unless like people that own light bulb places are looking for someone to 3D render the light bulbs, you're not going to get that much work. You need to be doing work that people are actually going to pay for as well. So products is a good space to be in. Motion graphics as well. If you're doing like title designs, titles is also good. Visual effects, if you want to get into Hollywood. You also need to find out what kind of 3D work do you want to do. Like, just pick something. Do you want to be in motion graphics? Do you want to do product rendering? And just tailor yourself to one of those, at least for now. At least specialize for now in some way, so that people know that you're good at one thing, and then you can start branching out. So now I'm starting to branch out into like motion graphics, title designs, visual effects, film, things like that. But I've got like a strong base where it's like, oh, people know me for my product rendering. So that's one thing. So you also need like do things like post blog posts, YouTube videos, either if it's a tutorial or if it's your work. I don't care if you're really bad. You can still make YouTube tutorials. I necessarily wasn't that great when I started, or I didn't think I was that great when I started posting YouTube tutorials, but there's always someone that's worse than you that can watch from it. You just need to you can think about it as like a tree, and you just need to you just need to reach out as many roots as possible, so that if someone's walking past, they'll trip over it and they'll notice you. That's how I'm viewing it. So yeah, you just need to be in as many places as possible. So yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big thing. And I'm kind of losing my train of thought here because I'm kind of forgetting what the others were. So yeah, you need to be in as many places as possible. People need to know what you do. And I guess those are like the biggest things. Other methods, you can that's if you're doing it organically. You can either contact people directly. So this is like the cold version, where you either cold calling, cold emailing, cold messaging, or whatever it is. But that's the scarier version for a lot of 3D artists to do. Not all 3D artists are necessarily extroverted, so it may be difficult for you to go and gather a bunch of emails or a bunch of phone numbers and start phoning and emailing people. But that's a good way of doing it as well. What you could also do, depending on what you want to do, if you want to freelance like me, then organic methods are very useful. Going on things like freelance websites, just to start off, if you're very, very starting off, like going on freelance websites to get some experience and get some contacts is a good way. Nice way to build up a portfolio. I don't recommend this as a long-term solution, because you'll just be carrying on working like for free work. Like I see people, they've been working for like 3 years and they're still making like $30 a project, $30 to like $300 a project, and that's honestly like, don't do that for very long. But if you're just starting out, it's a good method. Eventually you want to get a good place where you can start negotiating with clients and know how to, you just have a good enough knowledge with business that you can, even if you do start off like on free proposals, like very cheap proposals, you can increase the price anyways, which is kind of what I do. Like I find like $500 projects and like negotiate my way up, because at the end of the day, the client wants to know that someone can do the work and they know it can be done well. They don't necessarily always know that good quality work will cost more. They just assume that it'll cost like $500, which isn't always the case. So that's also a method, going on freelance websites. Then if you want to work for a studio, you can message studios, get a CV, get a portfolio. That's extremely important. I don't see many people having a website with their work on it. I see people like, I've offered to hire people and they sent me like CVs. I was like, I don't care about your CV. I don't care what university you went to. I don't care what jobs you've been in. I want to see what kind of work you can do. Like, I remember I posted like a job application, 40 people applied, and I strictly said, show me links of your work. Let's say 75% of people barely posted any links. They sent me CVs and all that nonsense. Immediately skipped that, immediately just cut them out. Then the 25% that did, they didn't show any work that was what I was looking for. I wanted someone that could model characters and someone that could model products. So 2 different people. All the people that couldn't fit in that category, all the people that like posting, like this is the type of work I was looking for. So doesn't mean that if you do like daily renders and stuff like that, it's a bad thing. But people like just showing me stuff of daily renders, which I really had no use for. So I cut those out, and then it ended up landing up to like 5 people. Then I just sent them all messages, and the ones that responded the quickest, the ones that were nicest, and the ones that I knew could do the work, I hired those people. And that's kind of the mindset of someone, or at least me, when I was hiring people to work for my studio. And that's kind of like, you need to think about like what the mindset of a studio is looking for. You can send them a CV, but you need to have some sort of professional website or some sort of professional reel where you can show, hey, I can do all this good work, and then you'll get people to, you'll be able to get in a studio. So also going for an internship is very helpful. Working for free, basically. Offering to work for free or lowballing clients as well. So you offer clients at a very cheap rate so that you get the job. That way you get experience, that way you get contacts. And then in the future, you're doing that as an investment for the future, that you get all those contacts and you get all that experience so that you can then charge more. So that's also a strategy I did when I was very starting out. I charged ridiculously low rates so that I could get the experience. And then clients came back, just increased the rates a bit when they came back, and then I started getting more and more work. So that's also another great method. And then you can also, like I said, cold email them, call them. But yeah, those are just like the big things. So you need to be in places where clients can find you, be as many places as possible, and like have good work, have clients see that you can do the work that they want, have a portfolio of some sort that you could send them so that they can see it. And yeah, those really are the big things. I mean, like I summed it up in like 15 to 20 minutes, and those are like the majority of the big things. Like there's all these little tactics that I could teach people, but like I could be sitting here for like 10 hours trying to explain that stuff. But those are like the majority, those are like the main core parts of it, on like how to actually find clients. So I would take that advice if you're just starting out and like take it seriously. A lot of people are probably going to listen to this and not go and sign up to an Instagram account. They're not going to start a YouTube channel. They're not going to start a Twitter account and all that and just start posting, because a lot of people just don't have the work ethic, and that's fine. Every kind of industry has a dominant hierarchy where it's like there's people at the bottom and there's people at the top, and someone has to be successable, and then you also have people that aren't going to be as successful. You just have to decide where you want to be. Do you want to be like one of the people that's not going to be that successful, or do you want to be one of the people that's going to be successful? If you want to be the people that's going to be successful, you need to do what people that are successful are doing. It's just that simple. So Gary Vaynerchuk is a good resource when it comes to finding organic traffic. There's a channel called The Future, which is great when it comes to dealing with clients. So let's say you are getting clients. I learned a lot from them. Now you need to deal with the legal side. You need to deal with contracts, and you need to deal with negotiating. So that's a big side. So I'm very good whenever a client comes knocking at a studio. I'm always the sales guy. I'm the guy that the client speaks to, because I know what to do when it comes to dealing with clients. I know how to speak to them. I know what I'm just the best when it comes to that stuff. So The Future has some great content on there on like how to build an agency, how to negotiate with clients, how to price work, all that stuff. The Future is a great resource. And then the rest is literally just Google it. If you want to know how to build a website, Google it. You can sign up to a WordPress account. You can pick a template and you can make it in like 15 minutes. It's very, very quick. Instagram, if you want to know how to post on Instagram, if you want to know how to grow a YouTube channel, all that stuff you can literally Google. So The Future, those are some great resources, for some free resources, some paid ones. Sam Alvin's is a great one, but this is if you're making a lot of money. Sam Alvin's course is like $3,000. So if you're just starting out, maybe I shouldn't actually be mentioning that sort of stuff. Like ignore the Sam Alvin's comment. That's more in the future when you're starting to make a little bit of money and you want to invest more in your business. And so those are the main things. And like mindset again is such a huge thing, because you need to be thinking of yourself as a small business. Like it depends. Everyone is in a different place when it comes to 3D. Some people are just doing it for fun. Some people seriously want to do this as a job, and some people are just doing this for fun and they wouldn't mind getting client work just because it's also fun. So it depends on where you are. But if you want to do this seriously as a job, it's not easy. I'm in a very fortunate position, and being a freelancer is not easy. It's definitely, I think it's a lot better than having a job, because I've worked in a studio for like a whole week, and I experienced that, and I was like, I can't do this much longer. At least for like, I don't think I could do it for like a month or 3 months. It was great. The great benefits of like working in a studio, you get a lot of 3D experience. You get job security, and a lot of the projects are just handed to you. You don't have to go and find them. It's also cool because you get to work with other people who are the same level as you. So it's very, very good when it comes to your 3D skill set. Hands down. Working in a studio is great for that. Also depends on the studio you work in. Some studios are horrible. Some studios are the best studios you could ever work in, and it's like the best job you could ever have. Depends on who you are as well. But yeah. And then like on the freelancing side, the benefits are like I can work wherever I want. Like I'm going to Bali in a few weeks. I can just stay there for 3 months if I want to. I just came from Namibia and Zambia, and I've been traveling around South Africa a little bit. I'm very mobile. I can go wherever I want. I can do whatever I want. I can wake up whenever I want. I can work whenever I want. There's benefits to that. But then again, you don't have the security. I have to like pay an accountant. I have to like hire the artist to do work that I can't do. I have to like pay a copywriter. I have to do all this and that I have to handle everything myself. I have to handle sales. I have to handle the marketing. There's a lot more on your plate, and there's different types of stress. But then again, there's other benefits like mobility, freedom, stuff like that. So there's pros and cons to both. But again, it depends. You need to have the mindset of like, hey, I'm a business. This is what I was getting to. You need to have the mindset of, hey, I'm a business. If you want to like do this seriously, and you shouldn't take it necessarily as like, oh, this is a hobby, I'm just doing it for fun. You should be like, hey, I'm a business, I need to be making money. How much money am I making every month through 3D? How much are my expenses? You need to be tracking the stuff. How much do I need to be making? Am I reaching that? If not, why? What can I do to make more money in that regard? What do I need to have my income go above my expenses? Where do I want to be in a year? Where do I want to be in 2 years? Where do I want to be in 3 years? What do I need to get that? Do I want to be getting a lot of 3D animated commercials? Do I have the hardware for that? How much is the hardware for that? How much do I need to be making? How much is my rent? All this stuff, like you need to be thinking of yourself as a business, and you need to have the mindset of that. So when it's like, oh, I don't feel like posting on Instagram, it's like, well, I need to be making this amount. Is posting on Instagram going to get me a client? Possibly, even if it's not now. In 10 months, maybe one client will come on and pay me like $5,000 to $10,000 for a project. Is that like worth doing? So I've always come from the mindset of that. So like when I was posting YouTube videos, posting on Instagram and all that, I was just like, maybe one client's going to come on here and pay me $500 for a project. It's 100% worth it. If someone paid you, I'm getting to the stage where I'm trying to, where it's like, if someone paid me $5,000 to $10,000 to like, post this or post that, would I do it? Then it's like, yes, then I'll do it, because the potential of actually being in a place in front of a client who might pay you like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, all the way up to like 50,000 and up to do like, to just render out images for them. Like it's very, very high. You just need to be in front of the right clients. Like there's clients that'll pay you like $5,000 just to render them out like a few images of their products. It's possible, and you can get that done in like a few days. And then you don't have to work for like the next 3 months. It depends on what your expenses are, obviously. But you just need to be in front of the right people, and like amazing things can happen. But yeah, this is my first podcast, so I'm not going to make this like 2 hours long. Thought I would just share that advice because I think a lot of people can benefit from that. So definitely try some of the stuff I recommended. Like I said, it's not very trackable. So it's hard to say how much results you're going to get from, even if you make 100 posts on YouTube, doesn't mean you're going to get any clients. There's a lot that goes into it. It depends on the platform you're using. You need to just Google like hell. You need to Google how to be a successful YouTuber. You need to Google how to be successful on Instagram and all that stuff. And it's a lot of work. That's why a lot of people struggle with it. It's even a lot of work for me. That's why I'm kind of like delegating a lot of the stuff to other people, like accountants and copywriters and all that, because it is a lot of work, and you can't. You only have 2 sets of hands. But when I started out, I was working like 15 hours a day. I spent all my time just pouring into it, and now I can relax. Now I just need to work like 2 hours a day and I'm fine. So in the beginning you do need to put in a lot of work, but in the end it can pay off very well if you got a lot of hard work and you're very lucky. So I thought I'd give that advice, and gonna go eat my ice cream, watch an episode, and hope you guys have a great day, and I shall see you guys on the next podcast episode. So if you guys want to see more podcasts, possibly interviewing other people, let me know in the comments below. That would be cool to see how many people are actually interested. If you want to get your free guide on 3D rendering, I've got like a free guide on like professional workflows, like optimizing your scenes and make your scenes render faster, and all sorts of cool stuff like that. You can get it in the link below, or just go to arthurwhiter.com. And if you want to get some if you want to get some project files, a lot of project files that I've worked on that are like personal work, you can also get that on my Patreon. All the links will be in the description, as well as the Gary Vee links and the future links. Hope you guys have a great day or night, and I shall see you on my next episode, and goodbye.